Therapy as a couple, and it's been actually really good for us. I actually thought it was going to be hard for me to open up, but to be honest with you, it was the total opposite. And
Kirk have had to learn
that not heal with time. It just sits there stagnant until you start to address it. That's something to think about. Until next time.
Family crises. Rasheeda and Kirk reveal devastating tragedy. Heartbreak LHHATL S13B. In the dead of night, the Frost mansion went completely silent except for one blood-curdling scream that shattered everything. Rasheeda Frost, the unbreakable queen of Atlanta, collapsed to her knees in the middle of their lavish living room, clutching her chest as tears streamed down her face. Kirk stood frozen behind her, his usual smooth-talking swagger completely gone, replaced by a look of pure horror as he whispered the words no parent ever wants to say. "This can't be happening, not our family." What started as what seemed like just another heated season of love in hip-hop Atlanta has exploded into a nightmare no one saw coming. Sources close to the couple are revealing that Rasheeda and Kirk have been hiding a devastating family tragedy that threatens to destroy their marriage, their empire, and everything they've built for over a decade. Insiders say it involves their children, a shocking betrayal from someone they trusted most, and a secret so dark it has left the entire Frost household in ruins. Imagine this. Rasheeda, who has stood by Kirk through every scandal, every side chick, every public humiliation, now looking at her husband with eyes full of rage and heartbreak, screaming, "You did this. Your mess finally came back to destroy our babies." Kirk, voice cracking for the first time on camera, firing back, "Don't you put this all on me, Rasheeda. We both made choices that led us here." The cameras caught it all. The screaming matches echoing through the hallways. Doors slamming. Family members rushing in trying to pull them apart. And in the middle of the chaos, one of their own children breaking down in tears, revealing a truth that has left fans speechless. This isn't just drama anymore. This is a full-blown family crisis that could end the Frost legacy forever. And tonight, for the first time, Rasheeda and Kirk are stepping forward to reveal the devastating details that have torn their world apart. Are you ready? Because what's coming next will leave you in absolute shock. The cameras were rolling when Rasheeda Frost broke down in a way no one had ever seen before, her body shaking as she clutched Kirk's arm and whispered the words that changed everything. "Our baby is gone, Kirk." The pain in her voice cut through the air like a knife, and in that moment the entire Frost family felt the world crumble around them. Fans are in complete shock after this revelation because what started as typical love and hip-hop Atlanta drama has turned into a real-life nightmare that has left Rasheeda and Kirk questioning every decision they ever made together. Kirk stood there, his face pale, trying to hold back tears as he pulled Rasheeda close, but she pushed him away, screaming, "You did this, Kirk. Your secrets, your lies, they finally destroyed our family." Insiders close to the couple reveal that the devastating tragedy involves their youngest child, who has been secretly battling a serious health crisis that escalated overnight, leading to an emergency hospitalization that no one saw coming. Rasheeda, who has always been the rock of the family, was seen rushing through the hospital corridors, her designer heels clicking against the cold floor as doctors delivered news that made her collapse right there in the waiting room. Kirk rushed in moments later, his usual confident swagger replaced by pure panic as he demanded answers from the medical team. "What do you mean there's complications? We were supposed to be celebrating, not fighting for our child's life." The arguments that followed were explosive, with Rasheeda accusing Kirk of neglecting family priorities because of his constant business deals and rumored side situations that never truly went away. "You were never here, Kirk," she yelled in a heated moment captured on camera while their other children watched from the hallway, tears streaming down their faces. The family that once seemed unbreakable is now divided, with friends like Mimi and Erica trying to mediate, but even they couldn't hide their own shock at how deep the cracks had become. Rumors are swirling that the tragedy goes beyond just the health scare, because a shocking betrayal from within the inner circle has surfaced. Someone they trusted with their children's lives apparently hid critical information about early symptoms to protect their own position in the Frost empire. This revelation hit Rasheeda like a ton of bricks as she confronted one of Kirk's longtime associates in the hospital lobby. "How could you keep this from us?" she demanded, her voice echoing through the sterile halls while Kirk stood frozen, unable to defend. The indefensible emotions ran high as the couple returned home that night, only to find their mansion filled with worried family members and castmates who had rushed over after hearing the news. The living room turned into a battlefield of accusations and raw pain, with Rasheeda breaking down again, recounting how she had begged Kirk to slow down months ago to focus on the children, but his drive for more money and status blinded him to the warning signs. Kirk tried to explain himself, his voice cracking as he said, "Baby, I thought we were building something for them, something that would last, but now I see I failed you, I failed all of us." The raw honesty in his words left everyone speechless. speechless because for the first time Kirk Frost was admitting fault in a way that felt truly genuine, yet the hurt ran so deep that Rasheeda couldn't bring herself to forgive him just yet. She paced the room clutching a photo of their child, her hands trembling as she whispered, "I don't know if we can come back from this, Kirk." The family was left divided, with some siding with Rasheeda demanding accountability while others urged forgiveness, pointing out that life is too short after such a scare. Unexpected twists kept coming when their eldest child stepped forward, revealing private conversations that exposed even more hidden tensions in the marriage, including late-night arguments where Rasheeda had threatened to leave if Kirk didn't change his ways. The tension in the room was suffocating as cast members whispered among themselves about whether this would finally be the end of Rasheeda and Kirk's legendary but turbulent love story. Producers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are said to be scrambling because this footage is more real and heartbreaking than anything they've ever aired. Fans online are flooding social media with support and criticism, some praising Rasheeda for her strength while others question if Kirk can truly step up as a father and husband when it matters most. The night wore on, with Rasheeda and Kirk retreating to their bedroom for what sources describe as the most emotional conversation of their lives, where tears flowed freely and old wounds were reopened in the process of trying to heal new ones. She looked him dead in the eyes and said, "If we lose our baby because of the chaos we created, I will never forgive either of us." Kirk nodded silently, his head bowed under the weight of guilt, promising to make things right no matter what it takes. But as the sun rose the next morning, new information emerged that added another layer to the tragedy. Doctors had discovered complications linked to stress in the household, something that pointed directly back at the constant public drama and internal conflicts that have defined their relationship for years. This bombshell left the entire cast reeling, with Mimi pulling Rasheeda aside for a private talk, saying, "Girl, you need to decide if this marriage is worth saving before it's too late." The stakes have never been higher for the Frost family as they navigate this crisis that threatens not just their personal happiness but their entire legacy on the show and beyond. Rasheeda, who built an empire alongside Kirk, now wonders if that empire was built on a foundation too shaky to survive this storm, while Kirk grapples with the reality that his actions may have contributed to the pain they're all feeling now. The drama continues to unfold, with every passing hour bringing new revelations, new tears, and new questions about whether love can truly conquer all. When tragedy strikes at the heart of the family, viewers are left on the edge of their seats, wondering if Rasheeda and Kirk will emerge stronger or if this devastating blow will finally tear them apart forever. The raw emotion, the heated exchanges, and the desperate fight to hold everything together have turned this season into the most unforgettable chapter yet in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta history, and the worst may still be coming as more secrets threaten to spill out into the open. The tension in the Frost household reached a boiling point the very next morning when Rasheeda stormed into the kitchen, confronting Kirk over new evidence that had surfaced overnight. Doctors had confirmed that the stress from their ongoing public battles and unresolved issues played a direct role in their child's declining condition, and that revelation shattered whatever fragile peace they had left. "You promised me you would protect our family," Rasheeda screamed, her voice raw with fury as she slammed her phone down, showing Kirk the latest medical report. Kirk stood there, his eyes bloodshot from a sleepless night, trying desperately to reach for her, but she backed away with tears flowing freely. "I trusted you, Kirk. I stood by you through every scandal, every woman, every lie, and this is how you repay me, by putting our baby in danger." The words hung heavy in the air as their other children peeked from the doorway, visibly shaken by the intensity of their parents' fight. Friends from the cast rushed over again, this time with Erica and her crew offering support, but even they couldn't stay neutral when they heard the full details. Mimi pulled Kirk aside in the backyard, whispering, "Man, you gotta fix this before Rasheeda walks away for good, because she is hurting bad right now and the whole Atlanta scene is talking about it." Emotions ran high as the group gathered in the living room for what became an emotional intervention. Rasheeda sat on the couch, clutching a blanket, her face buried in her hands, while Kirk paced back and forth, explaining how business pressures and maintaining their empire had blinded him to the warning signs. "I was trying to secure our future," he said, his voice breaking, "but I lost sight of what mattered most: our kids, our marriage, our peace." The room fell silent for a moment before accusations flew from every direction. One of their close family members stood up, pointing directly at Kirk. "You brought this chaos into the house with your secrets, and now look what happened." The betrayal cut even deeper when it was revealed that a longtime associate had been leaking private family information to tabloids in exchange for money, adding another devastating layer to the tragedy. Rasheeda looked up with fire in her eyes. "How long has this been going on?" she demanded, her hands trembling as Kirk tried to deny involvement, but the evidence was overwhelming. Fans are completely divided online, with some calling for Kirk to step up and prove himself, while others support Rasheeda in considering a break from the marriage that has defined her public life for years. As the day progressed, a new twist emerged that no one anticipated. Their eldest daughter broke her silence during a heated family meeting, revealing that she had overheard Kirk on multiple late-night calls discussing matters that suggested he had been hiding more than just business deals. This bombshell left Rasheeda frozen in disbelief as she turned to her husband with a look of pure heartbreak. Was there another woman? Kirk, be honest, because if you lie to me now, I swear we are done. The entire room held its breath, waiting for his response, and when Kirk finally spoke, his confession shook everyone to the core. There were moments, he admitted, where I slipped up, but I never meant for it to affect our children. Rasheeda, I love you. I love this family more than anything. The raw vulnerability in his voice moved some to tears, but Rasheeda remained unmoved, storming out of the room and locking herself in the master bedroom, where producers captured her sobbing uncontrollably into a pillow. The family was left divided like never before, with some urging forgiveness and others pushing Rasheeda to prioritize her own peace and the well-being of the kids above all else. Outside the mansion, paparazzi swarmed the gates as word of the tragedy spread like wildfire across Atlanta. Social media exploded with hashtags supporting the Frosts and speculation about whether this crisis would end their long-running love story. Insiders reveal that Rasheeda spent hours on the phone with lawyers, quietly exploring options, while Kirk desperately tried to make amends by canceling all his upcoming appearances and staying glued to the hospital where their child remained under close watch. Doctors updated them with mixed news that brought both hope and fear. The child was stable for now, but any further stress could trigger a dangerous setback. This information forced Rasheeda and Kirk into another private conversation where old wounds were ripped open once more. She looked him straight in the eyes and whispered, "If we lose our baby, I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again." Kirk dropped to his knees in front of her, promising to change everything from that moment forward. No more secrets, no more chasing clout, just family first. The sincerity in his eyes seemed genuine, yet Rasheeda hesitated, torn between years of love and the fresh pain that now consumed their home. Cast members like Scrappy and Bambi arrived later, offering perspective from their own turbulent experiences, but even they admitted this situation felt heavier than anything they had faced. The night ended with the couple sitting by their child's bedside, holding hands in silence, praying for recovery, while cameras rolled, capturing every tear, every whisper, and every moment of raw uncertainty. Back at the house, the drama continued when a surprise visitor showed up, someone from Kirk's past whose arrival added fuel to the already raging fire. Rasheeda confronted the visitor, immediately demanding to know what connection they had to the leaked information and the hidden stress that contributed to the tragedy. Voices rose again as accusations flew, and for a brief moment it looked like the entire family would explode under the pressure. Yet in the midst of the chaos, a small glimmer of hope appeared when their child showed slight improvement, giving everyone a momentary breath of relief. Still, the underlying issues remained unresolved, with Rasheeda telling Kirk that one positive medical update wasn't enough to erase the damage done. "Trust has been broken," she said softly, "and rebuilding it will take more than words." This time, the Frost family saga has become the talk of the town, with everyone wondering if Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 will witness the ultimate breakup or the most powerful redemption arc. Yet the stakes are sky high, the emotions are overwhelming, and the revelations keep coming faster than anyone can process as Rasheeda and Kirk fight not just for their child's health but for the very future of their legendary union. And the worst may still be coming as hidden truths continue to surface, threatening everything they hold dear. The Frost family drama intensified even further as Rasheeda sat alone in the hospital chapel whispering prayers, while Kirk paced the hallway outside, receiving a phone call that would unleash the next devastating twist. Turns out one of his former business partners had been using the family's private struggles as leverage in a messy financial dispute, and this bombshell dropped right as doctors were preparing another update on their child's condition. "You let this happen, Kirk?" Rasheeda exploded the moment she stepped out and overheard the conversation, her eyes blazing with a mix of exhaustion and pure rage. "How many more secrets are you hiding from me? Because every time I turn around another one surfaces, and it keeps hurting our babies." Kirk tried to defend himself, his voice hoarse from stress. "I swear on everything, I didn't know it would go this far, baby. I was trying to shield you from the business side, but it all blew up in our faces." The confrontation spilled into the hospital corridor, drawing stares from nurses and visitors as cast members who had gathered for support attempted to calm the storm, but the pain was too fresh and the accusations flew faster than anyone could contain them. Mimi stepped between them with tears in her own eyes, saying, "Y'all need to stop this right now. The baby needs both parents strong, not tearing each other apart." But Rasheeda was past the point of listening. She turned to Kirk with trembling lips and said, "I built this empire with you. I defended you when the whole world called you out, and now our child is fighting for life because the drama never stops." The room fell into heavy silence as their eldest son finally spoke up, revealing yet another hidden truth. He had seen Kirk arguing with someone on the phone weeks earlier about money that was supposed to go toward family medical needs. needs but instead vanished into shady deals. This new revelation hit Rasheeda like a punch to the gut, causing her to collapse into a nearby chair, sobbing uncontrollably. While Kirk dropped to his knees beside her begging for forgiveness. I was wrong, he admitted publicly in front of everyone. I let greed and ego cloud my judgment, but I am here now, ready to burn it all down if it means saving our family and our marriage. Fans watching the unfolding footage online are losing their minds, with comments pouring in by the thousands, some declaring this the end of Rasheeda and Kirk, while others hold out hope for a miracle turnaround. The emotions ran higher than ever when the doctor finally emerged with mixed news. The child had stabilized slightly but needed complete peace and zero additional stress, which put even more pressure on the already fractured couple. Back at the mansion later that evening, another explosive argument erupted when unexpected documents arrived via courier exposing that Kirk had secretly signed deals without Rasheeda's knowledge, deals that risked their shared assets and family stability. She confronted him in the master bedroom, waving the papers wildly. You were gambling with our future while I was praying over our baby. The betrayal cut so deep that Rasheeda began packing a bag, declaring she might need space to think clearly. For the first time in years, Kirk blocked the doorway, his face etched with desperation. Don't leave me, Rasheeda. Not like this. We've survived everything together. Infidelity, rumors, public fights, and now this tragedy. We have to fight for us. The raw dialogue between them stretched late into the night, with both revealing long buried resentments. Rasheeda admitting she had considered walking away multiple times before, and Kirk confessing his deepest fears of losing everything he worked for. The family gathered downstairs, listening to the raised voices, feeling the weight of uncertainty as the once powerful Frost unit appeared on the verge of total collapse. Yet just when it seemed all hope was lost, a tender moment unfolded at the hospital the next morning when their child briefly opened their eyes, reaching out for both parents. Rasheeda and Kirk held each other tightly for the first time in days, allowing tears to flow freely as they whispered promises of change. The scene was heartbreakingly beautiful but short-lived, because another twist hit when a close friend confessed to Rasheeda that they had witnessed Kirk in a suspicious meeting that may have contributed to the leaked family information. The accusations reignited instantly, turning the hopeful atmosphere back into chaos, with Rasheeda pulling away again, saying, I want to believe you, Kirk, but every time I try another lie appears. The entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast became divided over the situation, with some siding with Rasheeda, calling for accountability, and others encouraging Kirk to keep fighting for redemption. Scrappy pulled Kirk aside, offering blunt advice. Bro, you gotta show her actions, not just words, because this time words ain't enough. The pressure mounted as producers pushed for more raw footage, knowing this storyline had become the most intense in the show's history. Fans are completely invested, flooding comment sections with prayers, support, and strong opinions about whether the couple can survive this level of heartbreak and betrayal. As the days blurred together, Rasheeda found herself torn between love and self-preservation, spending hours reflecting on their journey from struggling together to building an empire, only to watch it crack under the weight of unresolved issues. Kirk, on the other hand, threw himself into hospital visits, canceling every outside obligation and showing a side of vulnerability that surprised even his closest friends. He sat by the child's bedside reading stories and singing old songs while Rasheeda watched from the doorway, her heart softening slightly but still guarded. The family tried to rally around them, hosting a small gathering at home filled with both tension and tentative hope, yet hidden truths continued emerging, including a shocking audio recording that surfaced suggesting external interference had amplified their problems for personal gain. This latest development left everyone reeling as Rasheeda confronted the possibility that outside forces had exploited their weaknesses at the worst possible time. The stakes grew higher with each passing hour as doctors warned that emotional stability was critical for recovery, forcing the couple into counseling sessions captured on camera where old wounds reopened and new understandings began to form. Slowly, Rasheeda looked at Kirk through tear-filled eyes and whispered, I still love you, but loving you right now hurts more than anything I've ever felt. The drama shows no signs of slowing, with more revelations poised to drop and the Frost family's future hanging in the balance like never before as they fight desperately to hold onto hope amid the chaos that threatens to tear them apart once and for all. The Frost family remained locked in turmoil as Rasheeda and Kirk faced their most brutal confrontation yet at the hospital after another medical scare left doctors urging immediate calm. You have to choose, Kirk, Rasheeda cried out, her voice echoing down the sterile hallway. Either this family or the lies and the money and the chaos, because I can't do both anymore. Kirk stood frozen, his shoulders slumped under the weight of guilt as he reached for her hand, only to have her pull away once more. The latest twist hit like lightning when a surprise witness from Kirk's inner circle came forward, admitting they had covered covered up early warning signs about the child's condition to protect ongoing business deals. This bombshell sent shockwaves through the entire cast, with Mimi breaking down in tears beside Rasheeda saying, "Sis, this is bigger than pride. Now your baby needs you whole and healthy." The revelations kept pouring in, exposing how Kirk's relentless pursuit of empire expansion had created hidden stress that doctors now linked directly to the tragedy. Emotions ran higher than ever as the couple returned home for an emergency family meeting where every dirty secret was dragged into the light. Their children spoke openly about feeling neglected during the height of the drama, with one saying, "We just wanted you both here, not always fighting on camera or chasing the next bag." Rasheeda listened with fresh tears streaming down her face, realizing the toll their public love and hip-hop lifestyle had taken on the ones they loved most. Kirk finally broke his silence in the most vulnerable moment yet, dropping to his knees in front of the entire family and Rasheeda. "I have failed you all," he confessed, his voice cracking publicly. "I let ego and fear drive me into corners I never should have entered, but I am begging for one last chance to make this right, not for the cameras, not for the show, but for us, for our babies, for the love we built from nothing." The raw honesty moved everyone in the room, yet Rasheeda remained guarded, pacing back and forth as she unleashed years of pent-up pain. "I stood by you, Kirk, when they dragged your name through the mud. I defended our marriage when everyone said it wouldn't last, and now our child is paying the price for secrets I didn't even know existed." The arguments stretched long into the night, with cast members like Erica and Scrappy offering counsel from their own experiences, but even they admitted this level of betrayal and tragedy felt unprecedented. Fans online are completely divided, some flooding comments with prayers for healing, while others demand Rasheeda walk away to protect her peace and the children's future. The pressure intensified when producers informed them that this footage would mark one of the most watched episodes in Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta history, forcing the couple to confront their reality under the unrelenting gaze of cameras. A surprise twist arrived the following afternoon when lawyers delivered documents showing that external parties had deliberately amplified the family stress through leaked stories designed to destabilize the Frost empire for financial gain. Rasheeda confronted Kirk with the papers in hand, her hands shaking. "So you weren't the only one hiding things, but your secrets gave them the opening they needed." The discovery shifted some blame outward, yet it also forced deeper conversations about trust and boundaries inside their marriage. They spent hours in private therapy sessions captured intimately on camera, where Rasheeda admitted her own role in ignoring red flags to keep the family image strong. "I wanted us to look perfect," she whispered through tears, "but perfection almost cost us everything." Kirk responded with actions, this time canceling major deals and prioritizing hospital visits while arranging private family time away from the spotlight. The child showed gradual improvement, bringing cautious hope to the household, but doctors warned that ongoing parental conflict could reverse the progress instantly. This reality hung over every interaction like a dark cloud as Rasheeda and Kirk navigated tender moments mixed with explosive arguments. The family tried to rebuild through small gestures, shared meals, heartfelt letters from the children, and quiet nights by the bedside, yet the wounds ran deep and forgiveness remained a daily struggle. As the season neared its emotional peak, another bombshell dropped when an old flame from Kirk's past reached out claiming knowledge of additional secrets that could further damage the family. Rasheeda demanded full transparency, leading to a raw late-night showdown where Kirk revealed every remaining skeleton in his closet. The confessions left Rasheeda devastated but also strangely empowered as she realized the full truth might finally allow healing or closure. She looked at him with exhausted eyes and said, "This is the last time, Kirk, the very last time I open my heart to your mess, because our babies deserve stability, not constant storms." The cast rallied around them, organizing a support gathering filled with both tension and tentative unity, where friends shared stories of their own comebacks, inspiring the Frosts to keep fighting. Insiders reveal that behind closed doors, Rasheeda began seeing small changes in Kirk that sparked faint hope. His constant presence at the hospital, his willingness to pause business, and his public admissions of fault started softening her heart slightly, yet every step forward seemed met with another emotional setback as old habits and fresh fears clashed violently. The entire Atlanta reality scene watched closely, knowing this storyline transcended typical drama, becoming a real-life saga of love, betrayal, tragedy, and possible redemption. Fans are emotionally invested like never before, flooding social media with theories, prayers, and personal stories of similar family crises. The Frost mansion that once echoed with laughter and ambition now carried the heavy weight of uncertainty as Rasheeda and Kirk stood at a crossroads, deciding whether their legendary bond could survive the ultimate test or if this devastating chapter would mark the painful end of an era. In the midst of all the chaos, a beautiful yet fragile breakthrough occurred when their child took a significant turn for the better, allowing the parents a quiet moment together, holding hands and whispering promises of renewed commitment. Rasheeda leaned into Kirk for the first time in weeks, letting silent tears fall as she said, "If we do this, we do it different. No more hiding, no more chasing empty success, just us and the kids, real and raw." Kirk nodded, his eyes filled with determination, vowing to earn back every ounce of trust he had lost. The family began to show signs of mending, with siblings supporting one another and cast members offering genuine encouragement, but the road ahead remained uncertain, with more medical tests looming and unresolved trust issues threatening to resurface at any moment. The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 has delivered its most heartbreaking and compelling arc yet, as Rasheeda and Kirk fight not only for their child's life but for the soul of their marriage and the future of everything they built together. The drama, the tears, the accusations, and the desperate search for healing have left the entire cast and fans emotionally drained yet unable to look away as the Frost family navigates this devastating tragedy toward whatever destiny awaits them, whether reunion or final goodbye. The stakes could not be higher and the outcome remains hanging in the balance, with every new day bringing fresh hope mixed with lingering fear. The Frost family stood at the edge of complete breakdown and possible breakthrough as Rasheeda and Kirk faced yet another explosive night after a minor medical setback sent them rushing back to the hospital. "You swore things would change," Rasheeda shouted in the dimly lit hospital room, her voice filled with exhaustion and fresh anger, while Kirk leaned against the wall looking defeated. The latest twist came when hidden financial records surfaced, proving Kirk had secretly moved money into risky ventures even after promising full transparency. This discovery reignited every wound as Rasheeda confronted him in front of their gathered friends and family. "How many times do I have to find out like this, Kirk? Our child is lying in that bed fighting and you're still playing games with our lives." The room filled with heavy tension as Mimi and Erica tried pulling Rasheeda aside to calm her, but the pain ran too deep for simple words. Kirk stepped forward with tears in his eyes, admitting everything. "Baby, I was scared. I thought if I fixed the money side it would protect us, but I see now it only made everything worse." His confession hung in the air while their children watched with broken hearts, one of them stepping up to say, "We don't care about the empire, we just want our parents back together without all this screaming and secrets." Fans across social media are completely hooked on this unfolding tragedy, with thousands commenting prayers mixed with harsh judgments, calling for the couple to either heal or separate for good. Emotions ran higher than ever when doctors delivered cautious but positive news that the child was responding better to treatment, yet strongly warned that any more parental fighting could reverse the gains. This forced Rasheeda and Kirk into an intense private conversation back at the mansion, where cameras captured every raw second. She sat across from him clutching a pillow and whispered, "I love you, Kirk, but loving you has cost me my peace, my sleep, and almost our baby." Kirk reached for her hands, pouring out his soul. "I know I've been selfish, I've let the lights and the money and the attention pull me away, but I am done with that life. If it means losing you and the kids, I am ready to sell it all, walk away from the spotlight if that's what it takes." Rasheeda searched his eyes for truth, torn between years of memories and the fresh scars that covered their home. The dialogue stretched deep into the night, with both revealing vulnerabilities they had never shared on camera before. Rasheeda admitting her fear of starting over alone, and Kirk confessing his terror of becoming irrelevant without the hustle. The family listened from nearby rooms, feeling the weight of possible change as cast members offered support through late-night calls and texts. The entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta circle became invested like never before, with some predicting divorce and others rooting for the ultimate comeback story. As dawn broke, a new unexpected twist emerged when a former associate reached out with proof that external rivals had been feeding false information to doctors and tabloids to sabotage the Frosts during their weakest moment. Rasheeda and Kirk united in anger for the first time in weeks, deciding to confront the threat together. This small alliance brought a flicker of hope as they sat with their child holding hands and making joint promises to shield the family moving forward. Yet trust remained fragile, and when Kirk received yet another suspicious business call, Rasheeda snapped again, storming out and declaring she needed time alone to breathe. The mansion fell into eerie silence as children comforted one another and friends debated whether this marriage could truly survive the layered betrayals and devastating tragedy. Insiders reveal that Rasheeda spent hours reflecting on their journey from young lovers grinding in Atlanta to reality stars with everything to lose, questioning if the price of fame had become too high. Producers pushed for more emotional footage, knowing viewers were glued to every update, and the drama delivered with arguments that shook the walls and tender reconciliations that brought tears to the hardest hearts. The following day brought both progress and pain when the child showed remarkable improvement, allowing the family a brief celebration filled with hugs and cautious smiles. Kirk used the moment to present Rasheeda with a heartfelt letter outlining concrete changes, including stepping back from certain businesses and committing to private counseling. Rasheeda read it with trembling hands, her eyes softening as she said, "This is what I've been begging for, but actions will prove if it's real or just another cycle." The couple shared a long embrace while cameras rolled, capturing what many hope is the turning point, yet old habits died hard, and another heated exchange erupted later that evening over lingering trust issues, with Rasheeda accusing Kirk of still keeping parts of his life hidden. "You say you changed, but I still feel the distance," she told him, her voice cracking. The family remained divided on the best path forward, with some pushing for swift forgiveness and others advising Rasheeda to protect herself first. Fans are flooding comment sections with support, calling Rasheeda a queen for her strength and urging Kirk to step up like never before the season closes. In the midst of the chaos, a powerful family moment unfolded when all the children gathered around their sibling in the hospital, sharing stories and laughter that filled the room with genuine warmth. Rasheeda and Kirk watched from the doorway, their hands brushing together as they allowed themselves to feel hope again. She leaned her head on his shoulder, whispering, "If we fight for this together, maybe we can come out stronger on the other side." Kirk nodded, kissing her forehead and vowing silently to become the man she needed. The road ahead stayed uncertain, with more medical checkups looming and unresolved issues threatening to resurface. The Frost family saga has captivated audiences like nothing else this season, blending real tragedy with raw emotion, heated betrayals, and desperate attempts at redemption as Rasheeda and Kirk navigate the final stretches of this crisis. The stakes remain sky high, the tears continue flowing, and the love they once built faces its greatest test yet. Whether they emerge united or forever changed, the drama shows no signs of slowing as hidden truths keep surfacing, and the entire Atlanta cast watches closely, waiting to see if this devastating family tragedy will destroy them or forge a bond unbreakable by any storm. The Frost family saga reached its emotional climax as Rasheeda and Kirk stood together in the hospital room, watching their child finally smile again after days of fear and uncertainty. "This is our wake-up call," Rasheeda said softly, her voice breaking with a mix of relief and lingering pain as she squeezed Kirk's hand tighter than ever before. The final twist hit when full disclosure documents revealed the complete extent of external sabotage and internal mistakes that had nearly torn them apart. Yet instead of sparking another fight, this truth brought a strange sense of closure. Kirk looked at his wife with fresh determination and said, "No more games, no more hiding. I am laying everything on the table starting today, because losing you and our babies is not an option." The couple shared their most honest conversation, yet admitting faults on both sides, Rasheeda acknowledging her role in enabling some patterns while Kirk owning every betrayal and distraction that added stress to their home. Emotions ran high as the entire cast gathered for one last powerful scene where friends offered hugs, tears, and real talk about survival. Mimi hugged Rasheeda tight, whispering, "You fought like a queen, sis. Now it's time to heal." The family began showing real signs of unity, with the children laughing together again and parents making joint decisions about the future. Doctors confirmed steady recovery, which lifted a massive weight, allowing the Frosts to breathe for the first time in weeks. Yet the road to full trust remained long and complicated, with Rasheeda still guarding her heart while Kirk worked daily to prove his commitment through consistent actions and presence. The drama that started as typical love and hip-hop Atlanta chaos had transformed into a profound story of tragedy, betrayal, and tentative redemption that left everyone involved forever changed. Fans are absolutely shocked and moved by how real this season became, with the Frost family fighting not just for fame but for their actual lives and legacy. Cast members reflected on camera about their own journeys, realizing this storyline raised the bar for raw emotion across the entire series. As Rasheeda and Kirk walked out of the hospital hand in hand with their child, the cameras captured a quiet moment of hope mixed with the knowledge that healing would take time, effort, and unbreakable commitment. The Frost mansion slowly filled with cautious optimism as they planned private time away from the spotlight to rebuild what was almost lost. The devastating tragedy had exposed every crack but also revealed the strength that still remained in their legendary love story. Insiders say this experience has changed Rasheeda and Kirk in ways no script could predict, forcing them to prioritize family above empire and peace above clout. The entire Atlanta reality world continues buzzing about whether this crisis will ultimately destroy the Frosts or create their strongest chapter yet. With more revelations possible and emotions still raw, the Frost family remains at the center of the most talked about season in love and hip-hop Atlanta history as they navigate the delicate balance between past pain and future promise. After all the screaming tears, betrayals, and shocking revelations, Rasheeda and Kirk have laid their souls bare in front of the world, leaving fans emotionally drained yet hungry for what comes next. Will the Frost family finally heal and emerge stronger, or will the lingering cracks prove too deep to repair? This devastating tragedy has changed everything, and the biggest questions remain unanswered. Can Kirk truly become the husband and father they need? Will Rasheeda find it in her heart to trust again after so much hurt? And how will this raw storyline affect the rest of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta moving forward? You have been watching one of the most intense family crises in reality TV history unfold right before your eyes, and the drama is far from over. Hit that like button if this story broke your heart. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Rasheeda should forgive Kirk or walk away for good? Tell us, Team Rasheeda or Team Kirk, and what do you predict will happen next in this wild season? Your voice matters, so comment like crazy and share this video with every Love and Hip Hop fan you know, because the Frost family story is only getting started. Thank you for riding this emotional roller coaster with us. Stay tuned because the next episode might be even bigger.